Tori Roloff talks filming again for Little People, Big World. We consider it. Tori and Zack Roloff may have walked away from filming reality TV, but they haven't completely abandoned the idea yet. In February 2024, the Little People, Big World couple announced they were finished filming for the long-running reality TV series. As Monsters and Critics reported, Tori and Zack shared the news on an episode of their podcast, Raising Heights. There were moments in reality TV that we loved and moments that we didn't, but overall we're grateful to our crew and our producer, and we're excited for our next chapter. They told their listeners. The decision was tough for Tori and Zack, but Tori shared that she's seen families be torn apart over reality television. Their eldest son, Jackson, expressed his disinterest in filming, which impacted their decision. But now, fast forward to April 2025, Tori says she and Zack would be open to filming again. Tori and Zack Roloff don't think they're interesting enough to get a show. During a recent Q&A in her Instagram stories, Tori told her 2.2 million followers that filming was still possible. One of the questions from a fan asked, "Are y'all filming anymore?" Tori wrote that they aren't filming lpbw anymore, but reminded her followers that she and Zack have a podcast and YouTube channel where they keep their fans updated. Then, in a subsequent slide, Tori was asked whether she would ever consider filming again. This time, Tori elaborated a bit more, naming one reason why she and Zack haven't pursued the idea yet. "We have said if it was just our family we'd consider it," she began. "However, we really don't think we're interesting enough to carry a show on our own. If we ever filmed again, we would want to circle back to what lpbw originated as, an educational show that taught people about dwarfism," Tori added, "not a relationship show." lpbw's storylines have evolved over the years. Zack and Tori were the last Roloff siblings to remain on lpbw through season 25. Before that, Zack's twin brother Jeremy and his wife, Audrey Roloff, Zack's sister Molly Roloff, and his younger brother Jeremy Roloff all walked away from sharing their personal lives with TLC's cameras. As Tori mentioned, in recent seasons, lpbw's storylines have focused more on the family's relationships, a stark contrast to the early years when the show followed the Roloffs' daily lives and educated viewers about dwarfism. One major relationship storyline in season 25 was Zack's feud with his father, Matt, over the sale of Roloff Farms. In earlier seasons, following Matt and Amy Roloff's divorce, lpbw followed Amy's life as a newly single woman re-entering the dating scene. Amy met her current husband, Chris Merrick, while filming, and their wedding was featured on lpbw. Matt's new romance with his current fiancée, Karen Chandler, has also been featured on the show. However, it's unclear whether or not their engagement was filmed for a future season. Uncertainty surrounds Little People, Big World, as TLC has not announced its future if there is one. Matt's fans would have liked to see his and Karen's wedding aired on TV, but some lpbw viewers think the show should end for good. For nearly 2 decades, the Roloff family has invited viewers into their lives on TLC's Little People, Big World lpbw. The series, which debuted in 2006, introduced audiences to Matt and Amy Roloff and their children, one of the first reality TV families to candidly share life with dwarfism. As the show evolved, so did its cast, with the spotlight eventually focusing on Zack Roloff, his wife Tori, and their growing family. In February 2024, after 25 seasons, Zack and Tori confirmed their departure from the show, a decision that sparked both emotional fan responses and speculation about the family's future in the spotlight. However, in a recent update, Tori made headlines again when she opened up about potentially returning to film, saying, "We consider it." This candid revelation has reignited conversations about lpbw's legacy, the Roloff family's next chapter, and how reality TV can evolve along with the families it follows. This article explores Tori Roloff's statement in full context, reflecting on their departure, the possibility of filming again, and the complex web of relationships, public perception, and personal growth that led to this pivotal moment. When Zack and Tori Roloff announced their departure from Little People, Big World, fans were both shocked and understanding. After all, the couple had become central to the show's storylines, especially as the original focus on Matt and Amy shifted. Their 3 children, Jackson, Layla, and Josiah, had also become beloved by viewers. In a heartfelt Instagram post and subsequent podcast episodes, Tori expressed gratitude for the opportunities lpbw had given them, but emphasized that it was time to write our own story. The decision wasn't just about television fatigue. It was about boundaries, peace, and reclaiming control over their narrative. "I'm so thankful for the opportunity the show gave us," Tori shared on Raising Heights, the podcast she co-hosts with Zack. "But there's also a season for everything. And for us, we're choosing rest and realignment." Though they left the reality TV format that launched them to fame, the Roloffs didn't disappear from public life. Instead, they redirected their energy toward more personal platforms. Their Raising Heights podcast quickly became a fan favorite, combining parenting advice, lighthearted family stories, and heartfelt discussions on challenges they faced. They also launched a YouTube channel, giving fans behind-the-scenes glimpses of their family life, from birthday parties to parenting mishaps. This content, self-produced and self-edited, allowed the couple to remain connected to their fan base without the pressure or politics of network television. In May 2025, during an Instagram Q&A, a fan asked Tori if the family would ever return to film Little People, Big World, or pursue a similar show. Her answer was candid but cautious. "We're not filming right now," she wrote. "But never say never. We'd consider it if the right opportunity came along and it felt right for our family." The response immediately went viral, sparking headlines and excited speculation. Did this mean the Roloffs would be returning to TLC? Could there be a spin-off in the works? Was another streaming service involved? Tori didn't elaborate, but the subtlety of her answer, neither a hard no nor a promotional tease, suggested the door to reality TV wasn't completely closed. On Reddit and Facebook fan groups, followers of the show had plenty to say. "I miss seeing them on my screen, but I totally respect their decision. If they come back, I hope it's on their terms. They're the heart of the show. Without Zack and Tori, lpbw just isn't the same. Maybe they'll do a YouTube docuseries instead of returning to TLC. That way they keep control." Others speculated that the right opportunity might mean a new show entirely, one not tied to the sometimes fraught legacy of Little People, Big World. One of the most compelling and controversial aspects of lpbw's later seasons was the ongoing tension between Zack and his father, Matt, over the future of Roloff Farms. What began as a simple disagreement over buying part of the farm turned into a drawn-out storyline that included emotional confrontations, tears, and, ultimately, estrangement. Tori, in particular, was vocal about the emotional toll of that storyline. "That whole experience changed our family dynamic," she said on the podcast. "It wasn't just about land. It was about trust." She hinted that being filmed during such a vulnerable period amplified the stress. "There were times we wished the cameras weren't rolling," she added. While drama drives ratings, it also exacts a toll on relationships, especially when the conflicts are real and deeply personal. That's part of the reason Tori and Zack have been cautious about jumping back into reality TV. Another key factor in their departure, and in whether they would return, is their children. Jackson, now 8, and Layla, 6, have grown up in front of cameras. Baby Josiah joined the family in 2022 and quickly became a fan favorite as well. But as the children get older, the decision to film becomes more complex. "We always want to protect their innocence," Tori said. "If filming compromises that, then it's not worth it." Still, she admitted that their kids often ask about the show and sometimes miss the crew who filmed them for years. "There were real friendships formed," she said. "It wasn't just a production to us, it was part of our lives." Industry insiders have long floated the idea of a Roloff spin-off, particularly one centered on Zack and Tori's family. With Matt and Amy stepping back and other siblings no longer involved, the show's narrative has grown fragmented. Tori's openness to returning under the right conditions may signal that a reboot with greater creative input from her and Zack could be feasible, Perhaps a limited series documenting life after lpbw, or a more stylized, docuseries format hosted on a streaming platform. One possibility: TLC could launch a 6-episode miniseries focused on raising heights, a natural extension of their podcast brand. Another is a YouTube-based reality concept with behind-the-scenes production, but released on their terms. Tori and Zack wouldn't be the first reality stars to walk away only to return on their own terms. Chip and Joanna Gaines, the stars of Fixer Upper, left HGTV, but returned via their own Magnolia network. The Chrysleys, the Duggars now via spin-offs, and even the Kardashians have similarly reimagined their public personas after exiting long-running series. What makes Zack and Tori unique is their authenticity. They've never sought stardom for its own sake, and that may be their biggest asset if they do return. After moving from Oregon to battleground Washington, the Roloffs embarked on a new chapter of life. Their suburban farmhouse, surrounded by trees and open skies, has become their sanctuary. They've focused on raising their children, nurturing their marriage, and building a home that reflects their values. Tori has embraced photography, often capturing candid moments of her kids playing in the yard, baking with her, or exploring nature. Zack continues to be involved in youth soccer coaching and community events. "It's about finding fulfillment outside the lens," he said on their podcast. Tori has also opened up about her struggles with postpartum anxiety, self-image, and grief. Sharing these moments on social media and the podcast has only deepened the connection fans feel with her. "I never want to pretend that life is perfect," she explained. "We've had hard days, but we've also grown so much. And that growth is worth sharing." Their transparency has helped reshape public perception of what it means to be a reality TV family trading in scripted drama for raw honesty. Even if Little People, Big World never returns in its original form, the Roloffs have left an indelible mark on television. The show didn't just entertain, it educated millions about dwarfism, family dynamics, and the joys and challenges of parenting. Tori and Zack's possible return wouldn't just be a nostalgic move. It could represent a new era of reality storytelling, one centered not on conflict, but on connection. Tori's comment, "We consider it," speaks volumes. It shows a woman who's no longer willing to be defined by a network, ratings, or even public demand. It's about her family, her values, and her vision for the future. Whether that future includes a return to TV, a new project, or simply more podcast episodes and YouTube uploads, one thing is clear: the Roloffs are writing their next chapter on their own terms. Tori Roloff's admission that she and Zack would consider filming again has reopened a conversation fans have been eager to have. In a media landscape that often favors drama over depth, the Roloffs offer something rare: sincerity, heart, and the courage to step away when it no longer feels right. Now, as they contemplate what comes next, they stand at a unique crossroads. The audience is ready. The story is still unfolding. And if the right opportunity comes along, we just might see the next chapter of the Roloff legacy on screen, not as a continuation of the past, but as a reimagined vision for the future. And maybe, just maybe, we'll hear that familiar opening music once again, this time accompanied